helping you live an ordinary life in an extraordinary way. This is Your Health with Dr. Burgundy Collins.
Hey, what's up? This is Dr. Burgundy. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of This Is Your Health. I am a licensed chiropractor in the state of Virginia, and I practice at Advanced Health Center in Arlington, Virginia. Now, on today's show, I have a very special guest. His name is Tory Wiley, and he is the founder and CEO of LOJ. He is truly a visionary in every sense of the word. He's an expert in the field of fitness, particularly natural body movements. Now, Tory has a strong passion for the betterment of people, primarily through cultural change. But Tory's primary goal is to teach others how to adapt to a healthy lifestyle via nutrition and fitness and practicing them as a mandatory ritual. Now, he himself has lived a strict vegan, vegetarian diet for the past 8 years. Count them, 8. Now, Tory is a pure embodiment of willpower through self-determination, no matter the odds. And we're particularly going to talk to him today about having that strict vegan, vegetarian diet and how you, a regular person, and myself, like a regular average person, can enjoy the benefits of eating a plant-based diet. Now, I've done a lot of talking. I have Tory right here. Tory, introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about yourself.
No problem. Well, first I want to say thanks, Burgundy, for having me on, and really excited. And first thing I always like to do before I open up is always give thanks and praises to the Creator and all of those who are working for the betterment of people in whatever form that may be in. So a little bit about myself is the key point before we get started. I want to, let everyone know that the reason why I chose this field is due to the simple fact, not because I'm a big fitness fanatic or not because I see it's a big business opportunity, but for the simple fact that I see a lot of, I grew up and I was blessed to, obtain knowledge in this area, and I wanted to be able to share, with everyone that I see suffering from certain things, smaller things that they can change within their lifestyles, and I wanted to be able to assist, those in that area, whether it's, via education or hands-on. And so that's what I think the primary thing that I want to share before we open up.
Okay, great. Tell us a little bit about LOJ for people who don't know what LOJ is.
No problem. Well, LOJ stands for Lion of Judah Fitness Club, so LOJ Fit Club. And I really like Lion of Judah. If anybody who's into the scriptures, that was one of the 12 tribes of Israel. So really big into that, and I wanted to, have my business name based upon, something that was significant and had a significant meaning to me. My favorite my favorite animal growing up was a lion, so I really like the way the symbol looks and everything like that. But that's just based upon the naming. What it is it's a health and fitness business, that is has and includes, multiple areas of health as far as, health enthusiasts, nutritionists, personal trainers, which we have a focus in, and we provide holistic health to any and everyone who's ready to, change their lifestyles. And that's what exactly it is.
Great. I love that. So then we're going to move on to the holistic aspect of what you guys do over there. Tell us a little bit about the benefits, or a lot, about the benefits of eating a plant-based diet. You've been a vegan for 8 years. How did you do it?
Yes, no problem. Plant-based diet, it's real simple. I always tell people before you do anything, you need to find out the why. Why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. And one of the big things that I help to share with people is that we understand that, we're made up from the minerals of the earth, and all of the minerals on the periodic table that we learn in science also, are in our bodies, from lead to copper to, iron and magnesium. So with the simple fact that we understand that our bodies are composed of these minerals, we understand that you can't go to the soil and eat the soil and digest it in order to replenish the minerals back into your body. So there's plants and trees that grows out of this same very soil that are composed of the same minerals of what we're made of. Mm-hmm. Therefore, instead of going to a third party, a cow or something like that, that eats from the same ground that we're talking about, we go straight to the source. And so, of course, there's a lot more, into it as far as knowing how to balance out certain things and what to supplement and what not to supplement and things like that, and when to eat it and when not to eat it. However, but that is basically the whole concept behind having a plant-based diet for us anyway.
Okay, so we cut out the middleman, which is the cow, chicken, pig, or whatever, and go straight to the source, right?
Correct.
I never heard it put that way. I really love that. That's great. So having a plant-based diet by cutting out that middleman or the middle animal and going directly to the source, how does that benefit us in a health-wise as opposed to somebody who may go to that third source or the middle source?
Okay, no problem. Well, let's say heart disease. Heart disease is one of the biggest diseases that plagues this society. And when I say this society, I mean America more specifically. But heart disease doesn't just come from, out of nowhere. It's something that's causing. What is causing this heart disease? And if you look, there's a direct relation from red meat and, GMO foods, red meat, and things like this that are, causing, your heart to fail and your heart to have a dis-ease. It means it's not at peace. It's, something is happening. And so if you look at the relationship between these things, because digestion is one of the hardest things for our bodies to do. Yep. And when it does not digest, when our bodies do not digest properly due to the things we're putting into it, then it causes other parts of our body to overwork to where at some point it gives. And so there's a direct relation between eating, a meat-based diet and different diseases that plague us, that plague us today.
Tory, you got me over here nodding my head. I completely agree with you. As a doctor, I see people suffer from heart disease and cancer, diabetes, and a lot of it is due to a poor diet, and those diets usually based on a lot of red meat and less veggies.
Exactly.
So is it too expensive for people to have a plant-based diet? I actually did a podcast on eating healthy on a budget. It's very difficult sometimes for people to kind of weigh eating healthy and also not breaking the bank when they go to the store to shop. So how do you balance that, eating a plant-based diet and still being able to afford to do so?
It all depends on, you have to just do it from experience. Everybody doesn't like the same thing. However, I give the audience a treat today by telling them my secret and how I save big money on a plant-based diet. Not only do I not spend as much, but I save big money.
Oh, please.
We have to learn the art of what you call food prepping. And what I do on Sundays, I spend about an hour and a half. I get a bag of brown rice. We're looking at no more than $2. I get stir-fry vegetables, sometimes fresh, but most of the time I get them in the freezer section, no more than $4 for the week. I'm talking about for the week. I get for me, because what I'm trying to do, I get a vegan source of protein, most of the time like a vegan chicken breast. And now that's a little bit more expensive. So I'm looking at, for about 2 bags, I'm looking around $8 to $10. And that's for the week. So that's 10, we're saying 4 and 2. $16 roughly for the week. I get that, take it home, cook the rice, cook the vegetables, and I cook the protein. And what I do is I get Tupperware and put the Tupperware, I put the meals, and I separate the meals, according to a balance of the vegetables, the protein, and then the rice. And I get out of that, I get both of my lunches. I eat an early lunch and I eat a later lunch. And I pack that, and I have at least 10 different Tupperware lunches for the whole week for less than $20.
Wow.
So that is inexpensive, in itself. And there's ways around it. You just have to find, what works for you and what you like. For example, a salad. We all know if you go to the store, you can get a salad for $5, $6. It may be expensive. It may be a little small thing of salad. But if you get the ingredients of the salad and you make it yourself, and you're looking at $2-3 for the same salad you just bought. So it's kind of like a matter of convenience. It may just take a little extra work from you.
Wow, sounds good. So meal prepping is the way to go, right?
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Okay, so we got a meal prepping. Okay, you mentioned protein. You mentioned a vegan chicken. What is vegan chicken, and how do you get your protein being a vegan? How do you do that?
Okay, well, so let me add my disclaimer to those who already are health conscious. Processed food is a processed food. So what that means is that, it goes through a process in order to the outcome in order to get it, that texture and the taste like that and things like that. Processed foods are not the ideal way of eating. The ideal way of eating is whole food. The ingredients of an apple is an apple. So therefore, I want to first say that. But vegan chicken, sometimes it can be made out of, different things. A lot of it is soy-based. Some of it is soy-based, but you can get, patties made out of, quinoa. You can get patties made out of mushrooms. Just different, creative ways in order to make, things that resembles and taste like that of a chicken breast or beef things or things like that. And I tell people all the time is that the reason why it's named after these things is because if you were to go and prepare chicken and get a chicken and you just cooked it and you put no seasoning on it, surely most people would not like that. So when the packages says, chicken flavored or things like that, it's simply that it's using the same type of seasoning, that taste that you like of the chicken, but on a plant-based, type of soy-based type of food or ingredient. And so that is a way to get the protein. And then also, food that we overlook. Broccoli in itself has a lot of protein. Quinoa, that's a grain. If you never heard of it, it's Quinoa. Quinoa has a high, absorbable rate of protein. And so, different foods like that, all around us, we just have to, see what works for us and how it works for us. But that is how I get my protein, primarily from whole food. And then, when I'm being a little lazy out of the week, or my chef didn't prepare my food for me, then I kind of, get something that's already prepared for me.
Okay, I hear that. Now that's a great segue into the best way for an average person like myself, as some of the listeners, to switch over from a meat-based to a plant-based diet. What's the best way for us to switch over? Because I love my chicken. Sorry, I love chicken. So how can I switch over to the quinoa? Because I have a love-hate relationship with quinoa. I discussed it on my last show. I need to just find easier or better ways to prepare it. But tell us, how can we switch over to a plant-based diet?
Yes, no problem. Actually, one of the things that we were just talking about, what we call things like the vegan chicken and the vegan fish and things like that, are what you call a transitioner's diet. Okay. And what those are is to help those who already are, who's already used to eating, things that resemble what they're already used to eating, so you make it in a vegan form. So I always recommend to start out with the transitional diets and getting things like that before, you just switch over from eating a whole meat-based diet to where you just cut that out completely and just go to quinoa and broccoli.
Yeah, because that'd be hard.
I don't recommend that at all. So that's the biggest thing and especially if you're a heavy meat eater where you're eating, beef or pork or red meat, anything like that, then I recommend you just to try to cut some of those things out and then go to a more white meat type of diet, and we're talking fish and, chicken. And then from there, those who are already just eating fish and chicken, which a lot of people I'm running into lately, that is what their diets consist of. Then what you do is like I said, try those, try and see what works for you as far as the vegan meat type of substitutes. Boca Burgers, Boca is a big time company, and try those different things and try to substitute them. And then eventually, the ultimate diet again is then you transition off of those onto, finding a way, like you said, for yourself, quinoa you don't really like. It's kind of like, find different ways, keep searching And I guarantee you with any and everything, there's a way that it can be prepared that you will like it. You just got to keep searching. Don't give up. Don't say in your mind, oh, I just don't like that.
Right.
It's certain, it's plenty of songs we've heard for the first time, and we didn't like the song for the first time, but the radio kept playing it. You didn't have a choice in that, but you started loving it. So it's an acquired thing. Yeah. Just like music, taste is the same thing.
I hear that. And another good brand that people could try out also in addition to Boca is Morningstar. Morningstar has great transitional types of foods. So you can still get your burgers, you can still get your sausages. They have like fantastic sausages and fantastic burgers. And it doesn't taste too veggie either. It's a great transitional food as well. Tory, thank you so much. You have shared so much information, practical information, easy tips for us to transition ourselves to have a more vegan or absolute strict vegan diet. Thank you so much for all the information you provided us today. Tell people how they can find you physically, where you work, in terms of where your gym is located or studio is located, and also if you have a website or just let people know how they can get in contact with you.
Absolutely. Website is lojfitclub.com. Definitely check that out. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any questions or concerns as far as nutrition or exercising. Facebook, LOJ space Fit Club, Fit Club one word, and then on Instagram, and that's just LOJ Fit Club, all one word, or all together. And then we're based out of Marietta, Georgia, and that's where we do, primarily one-on-one training, group training, things like that, anything dealing with, the training part. But we also have trainers scattered all across Georgia in various parts like Stone Mountain and in Cartersville and things like that. So definitely if you live in those areas or you live somewhere else and you just like our philosophy of nutrition and training, definitely reach out to us and see what we can do to help better serve your lifestyle change.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tory. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. Listeners, thank you for checking the show out today. Again, we're speaking with Tory Wiley, who is the founder and CEO of LOJ Fit Club based out of Marietta, Georgia. He's a strict vegan, and today he's provided us with great practical and easy tips on how we can transition from a meat-based diet to a plant-based diet and adapt a healthy lifestyle via nutrition and fitness. Thank you for checking the show out. Again, if you have a question or a topic for suggestion for This Is Your Health, simply go to the website, www.drburgundy.com. That is DRBURGANDI. You can also find me on Facebook and Twitter at those very same handles, DRBURGANDI. Have a great day, and I will chat with you all soon.
You're listening to This Is Your Health with Dr. Burgundy Collins.